Hi, my name is Sarah. When I was born, I didn't have strong tongue muscles. I didn't start talking until I was about close to 2 years old. I learned ASL to communicate with my family. I learned things like cookie, milk, more, food, or eat. Um, just to communicate, easy things that a baby would use. Um, Once I started talking, I didn't use ASL as much, kind of lost it. But now that I'm in college and I'm thinking about my career and what I want to do with my life, I thought, hey, I love ASL. I picked it up again in around ninth grade in high school. So it just kind of clicked to me to become a teacher for deaf children. It's something I think will be good for me just because I love ASL and I love teaching. But that's not the only reason why it's so important to me. ASL helped me, start my life with talking and communicating with my family. But it also used things like helping me with my dyslexia. Um, in case you don't know what dyslexia is, it's when you mix up, letters or words or sometimes even numbers. And my ASL with finger spelling or just using different signs to help me remember has helped a lot with it. And ASL has definitely improved my literacy. See, when I think about what I'm trying to fingerspell, I have to think, okay, how is that spelled? And then I'm able to sign it out on my hand. So it helps me because each letter of the alphabet has a different shape. The only ones that are like, there's some that are close, but to me, they're completely different. So that's the start of my story. You're going to hear also from my mom, from my best friend who is deaf, his name is Brent, and from my boyfriend of 6 years who has definitely seen my literacy grow, my spelling grow. I hope you enjoy.
Hi, my name is Amy Mazza, and I'm Sarah Mazza's mom. Sarah was about 6 months to a year old. We noticed that she wasn't imitating sounds the way most babies do. She wasn't really babbling. We waited until she was about a year and a half, and we got her tested. We got her hearing tested. We were pretty sure her hearing was okay because if you said something to Sarah, like, go get my shoes out of the dining room, she would go get the shoes out of the dining room. So we were pretty sure she heard us and understood us, but she was not talking at all. At the time, I lived with my mom, so it was her grandma and her grandpa and my brother, so her uncle. And if she wanted something that she couldn't reach herself, she would point at the object and kind of grunt, but there wasn't any speech, there wasn't any attempt to make any speech above and beyond the grunt that she always did if she wanted something. Her hearing problems, we found out that, of course, she didn't have any hearing problems, and we were enrolled in early intervention in New York, and she was given speech therapy through New York State. And when she went to speech therapy, the first thing that the therapist taught her to communicate and to encourage her to communicate was simple sign language. So she was taught signs like more if she wanted more, or cookie if she wanted cookie, or help if she wanted help, so that she could start to communicate and get rewarded for communicating. Very soon after she learned those signs, we started asking her to make sounds that were worked on in speech therapy with those signs. And then eventually the signs kind of went away and she developed regular language, and we just had to work on muscle building with her tongue, which was very weak because she hadn't used it. So those were the things that we used to help her and to get her to start talking. She pretty much stopped using sign language, even the simple signs that she was taught through early grade school. She began to get interested again in sign language probably right before middle school. She learned the alphabet in fingerspelling, and from there, what happened with her education was that she was diagnosed as dyslexic, and she was also diagnosed with having with the dyslexia of having a spelling problem. So what happened next was that her spelling was improved by her interest in sign language and the fact that she wanted to learn how to do sign language. So she was interested in fingerspelling, and she used fingerspelling to help her learn how to spell in English, which I think has helped her spelling and her reading ability a lot, in that she could relate the letters to something besides what she saw on the page, that sometimes her mind would reverse or turn around with her dyslexia. She could see that letter better with the ASL, and I think that helped her with her reading and her spelling and her comprehension in a way, because she could figure out what the word was, and by relating it to sign language and to either finger spelling, or later as she learned more American Sign Language on her own through watching videos and looking up words in ASL dictionaries and stuff like that, she began to get more of an understanding of the English language. The other thing that I think helped her is that while she was a ninth grader in New York, she had a chance to see one of my patients. I'm a nurse and I was doing home care, and one of my patients was not hearing impaired, but he was speech impaired, and he couldn't talk because he had cerebral palsy. And the way that his family taught him how to communicate was teaching him American Sign Language. And the family who I worked with liked Sarah a lot, and she would come over and visit once in a while, and she would talk to my patient in American Sign Language, and that helped her really become comfortable in talking in American Sign Language and also using English, because she could talk to him in English and he could respond in American Sign Language, and then if she didn't understand what he said in American Sign Language, he could fingerspell it, which would help her with her spelling and also with learning American Sign Language. So now Sarah has gone to the extent that she wants to teach children who are disabled and who are deaf or who use American Sign Language to communicate. So I think really, if that's where her career does eventually take her, I think it'll come full circle and she'll pay back and give back what she learned as a small child all the way up to adulthood, and really help out people, because she can understand where they're coming from, and she has a good understanding of the English language and a good understanding of American Sign Language.
Hi, my name is Brent. My sign name is Brent. I met Sarah around 3 years ago,
We worked together inside Universal at a restaurant. Sarah, she knew some ASL, but not a lot. Me, I would teach her some ASL. But she needed, right? That means finger spelling. It'd be wrong. She would have a hard time understanding, so would I. I would miss it, but I wouldn't understand. I told her, go, practice, go home, practice. Practice signing, practice finger spelling, and you'll get better. Now, years later, Sarah, her ASL has improved a lot. It's gotten a lot better. Her finger spelling has gotten a lot better. Wow, congratulations. I'm proud of her. She can use ASL with other people and they'll understand. Thank you for watching.
Hi, my name is Josh. I've been Sarah's boyfriend for 6 years. I have seen Sarah's literacy grow a great deal in that time. Sarah was never shy to say that she has dyslexia and how it impacted her life. When I first met Sarah, she was interested in ASL, but not as much she is now. Along with that, her spelling was not anywhere that it should be at the age she was. As the years went on, she became more interested in ASL, but she really started showing interest in it when she started working at Universal and met Brent. Because she became more in depth with it, she used fingerspelling a lot, and that in turn helped her spelling in English, and now she wants to teach deaf children. I've seen her grow so much in her literacy, I can't wait to see how much more she grows because of it.
The three people that you just heard from have seen how my literacy has grown in different times in my life. Since I was a baby, all the way till now. I know I still have a long way to go with my literacy skills, but I think other people that are a big part in my life have seen how ASL has helped me and my literacy realm. But now I think maybe you should hear from me. Like you kind of heard everyone say, ASL has helped me a lot. But I don't think people really understand how much. I remember thinking when I was in school, like first grade or even high school, I felt like I was in a different world because I didn't understand. I was scared to ask for help from other students, and it was just really, really hard. When I learned that it was okay to be different, it was okay to have a hard time understanding, I felt a little better, but not a lot. When I was in like first grade, second grade, it was hard. I was teased a lot, and even though I was not shy to say that I had a hard time understanding and that I had dyslexia, it was still bad. I mean, you think about it. No one likes being teased. Now, I was not only teased for having a hard time learning, but also, believe it or not, I would fall asleep in class. And around third grade, I started getting heavier. I just had a lot going on in my life, and it was just bad. And also because I'd be taken out of class to go for help. So, the kids would ask, where is she going? What is she doing? And, once they found out that it was to get help and, it was just bad. But like everyone said, ASL has helped me a lot. And sometimes I still get picked on for, having a hard time learning. But I don't think, I know that, people tend to get better as they get older. They don't tease as much. It was just a hard time in my life, and it's still a hard time. And that's all I have to say. You heard from some of the three most important people in my life. Thanks.